We are Larisa Kurtović and Yanna Jović, and we're presenting a paper called Saving Lake Nula, Post-Industrial Natures and Post-Extractive Futures in Bosnia-Herzegovina. And in this presentation, we explore how ruined post-industrial landscapes can become unlikely objects of care and of environmentalist concern. Our story begins in the central Bosnian town of Varoš, a quintessential industrial and mining community known for its ethnically mixed working-class population and often underplayed but pervasive environmental degradation stemming from centuries-long ore extraction and iron smelting. The 1992 through 1995 Bosnian War brought these iconic industries to a halt, emptying the town of most of its population and leaving behind post-industrial ruins, such as the smelter factory that today sits enveloped by bright green grass and shrubs. However, deindustrialization also created new things. A short uphill walk from the center will take you to the site of a pit lake that formed at the location of the now non-operational mine called Smreka, where iron ore was extracted alongside smaller quantities of lead, zinc, and barite. Over time, local population domesticated this rewilded lake, turning it into a zone of recreation, swimming, and fishing, or in Evan Kursky's terms, an emergent ecology that you can see from this image. And then in 2018, this lake became the centerpiece of an environmentalist campaign involving local activists, fishers, and nature lovers who came together to successfully challenge the EU-sponsored VAMOS program's plan to test underwater mining equipment that would disrupt the fragile new ecosystem. So VAMOS, or the Viable Alternative Mine Operating System, is a collaboration of companies and countries funded by the European Union for the purpose of promoting the exploitation of underused and abandoned mineral resources. Our talk today is based on ethnographic research conducted during the summer of 2019, chiefly by Yanna, who interviewed the stakeholders, with Larisa supervising the project and providing mentorship and guidance. And in offering an account of this mobilization today, we also want to explore the ambiguities of what Anna Singh has termed, quote, the possibilities of life in capitalist ruins, with an important caveat that we are dealing here with pre-capitalist and socialist histories of extraction. We are especially interested in how a post-industrial ruin, like a pit lake, can be seen as beautiful, lovable, and worth preserving, even if it might be characterized by the kind of latent toxicity that Michelle Murphy says, quote, sediments, persists, and lurks.
In our research, we found that one part of the conflict about this lake had to do with the question of what this lake was. Was it a natural site, a resource for a potential ecotourist future, or a flooded mine pit, a toxic industrial ruin? Complicating the answer to this question is the fact that pit lakes are not all the same. Some are more or less toxic than others. Activists defending the lake insisted theirs was settled and safe, able to sustain life, including the fish stock that fishers seeded. But the municipal government was looking for ways to boost their local economy. They hoped that the VAMOS project might revive the local mining industry, or at the very least, promote Varoš among potential investors or tourist visitors. Local fishers, especially, were really angry about the possible hazards of this underwater testing. One of them said, quote, they'll be here for a few months, dig it all up, and leave. Why would we agree to something like that? Local activists wrote to different governmental agencies, trying to find out who gave permission for this testing and to stop it from happening. They always hit dead ends, but believed that the law was on their side. But the biggest issue at stake in the controversy was what kinds of post-extractive futures a town like Vareš could hope for. When factories and mines closed in late 1990s, many workers lost their jobs and faced uncertain economic prospects. So was a return to extraction a way to go? As anthropological studies of mining have frequently shown, the promise of employment and economic development is one of the key reasons why communities ravaged by industrial pollution still profess loyalty to mining and smelting companies. But activists were skeptical, seeing Vamos representatives as opportunists looking to take advantage of a fuzzy legal situation in a non-EU member state, and their testing as a short-term event that could bring nothing but environmental risk. Vamos ultimately gave up the plan to test its equipments in Vareš. Was it the local opposition or the fact that the lake, in their words, did not exactly meet its testing requirements remains an open question. The lake remains a site of care and a favorite recreational spot, but it is not exactly clear how it can be turned into a source of work and economic prosperity, especially as the COVID-19 pandemic has brought much of the regional tourism industry to a halt.